The topic for today's video presentation is the social structure of honeybees and their vocal dance behavior. Honeybees are fascinating creatures that play a crucial role in the pollination of plants, which in turn affects our food supply and in general the ecosystem health. But beyond their importance to the environment, honeybees are also very interesting because of their complex social structure and communication abilities. Honeybees live in colonies that can contain up to 60,000 individuals and even more, each with a specific role to play in the colony's success. The colony consists of three types of bees: the queen, the worker bees, and the drones. The queen bee is the only bee in the colony capable of laying eggs. She is also responsible for emitting pheromones that regulate the behavior and physiology of the worker bees. Queen bees are larger than the other bees in the colony and have a distinct appearance with a longer abdomen. The worker bees make up the majority of the colony and are responsible for all the tasks that keep the colony running smoothly. They can clean the hive, collect pollen and nectar, tend to the brood, and defend the hive against predators. Worker bees are all female and have specialized glands that allow them to produce wax for building the hive. The drones are only male bees in the colony and their sole purpose is to mate with the queen. They do not have stingers and are unable to collect food or perform any other tasks in the hive. One of the most remarkable examples of honeybee communication is the Waggle Dance behavior. The Waggle Dance is a pattern that honeybees perform on the surface of the comb to communicate the location of food sources to other members of the colony. The duration and angle of Waggle Dance are used to convey information about the food source itself. For example, the duration of the waggle portion of the dance indicates the distance of the food source from the hive. The longer the waggle portion of the dance is, the farther away the food source is. The actual duration of the waggle dance corresponds to the distance of the food source in relation to the length of the hive. For instance, if the food source is located in 100 meters away and the hive is only 1 meter long, the bee will waggle for 10 seconds. 1 second corresponds every 10 meters. The angle of the dance also indicates some sort of information, which is the direction of the food source actually in relation to the position of the sun. If the bee is waggling straight up, the food source is located directly towards the sun, while if the bee is waggling at an angle, the food source is located at an angle relative to the sun. Honeybees have specialized photoreceptor cells in their eyes that are sensitive to polarized light. These cells are arranged in a way that allows honeybees to detect the angle of the polarization relative to the position of the sun. By analyzing the angle of polarization, honeybees can determine the position of the sun and use it as a reference point for navigation. And finally, the intensity of the waggle portion of the dance can also indicate the quality of food source. Bees will waggle more vigorously for high-quality food sources with higher sugar concentrations. The evolutionary history of the Waggle Dance is fascinating. While the exact origins of the Waggle Dance are unclear, it is believed to have evolved over millions of years as honeybees adapted to their environment and developed increasingly sophisticated communication strategies. One of the earliest known examples of honeybees using the Waggle Dance comes from ancient rock art found in Spain, which depicts bees and a human collecting honey from a wild hive. This suggests that honeybees have been using the Waggle Dance for at least 8,000 years. In terms of the evolution, the Waggle Dance itself, it is thought to have developed gradually over time, with earlier forms of communication involving simple movements and pheromones. As honeybees evolved more complex social structures and foraging behaviors, they began to develop more sophisticated communication strategies, including the Waggle Dance. Additionally, scientists think that honeybee dance originally evolved to allow bees to select a nest site, and the dance was only later co-opted for foraging. The Waggle Dance is innate behavior. It was shown that bees that had never seen it before, they could still perform the dance. However, bees that had undergone social learning from more experienced foragers were more accurate and ordered dancers. The key advantages of the Waggle dance are efficient foraging, adaptability, and navigation. In conclusion, the Waggle dance is highly refined and sophisticated behavior that is essential to the success of honeybee colonies. It is the example of one of the fascinating social structures in the world.